Vista Community Television presents Bella Vista and Beyond. Today our host is Abby Milam. We will be speaking about War Eagle Mill and the War Eagle Cavern. And now to the studio for our program.
Hi, I'm Abby Milam. Welcome to Bella Vista and Beyond. Today I have with me a very special guest from War Eagle Mill. This is Catherine Snelgrove. Catherine, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me today.
Good. It's really a pleasure to have you here because War Eagle Mill is one of my very favorite places. It's so cool. I think when I moved back home to Northwest Arkansas, it was one of the very first places that I went. And, just the beauty out there and the history and the amazing products. And so we're going to get into a little bit of that, all aspects of the mill today. But give us a little bit of the background and the history of the mill, because that's what I find so fascinating. And I think, you can kind of walk around and you can, read the plaques and see a little bit of the history, but I don't think I've ever gotten the full story from somebody who knows all of the things. And I think that you know all the things.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, the mill is really a very, very special place. The history is what makes the value of the mill, honestly. It's been there since 1832.
That's amazing.
The first couple that came here, they discovered this valley. They were coming from Tennessee, and they discovered the valley. They figured out they could start their homestead there.
And there was nothing there.
And there was nothing, of course, And they discovered that the closest mill was about 25 miles away. And you're thinking at that time when they didn't have cars, that would have been a day trip to go and get your grain milled.
Right.
So they decided to build a mill there. So that was 1832. The mill, unfortunately, was destroyed very shortly after that by a flood. So that was happening then, and it happens now once in a while also. But they rebuilt immediately. That mill lasted until the Civil War. And you know how this area was the limit, between the North and the South.
Right.
So we had actually both the Union and the Confederate stay at the mill at different times.
Wow.
But at some point, the Confederates had to move out because the Union was coming, and they figured out that they had to burn the mill so that the other guys wouldn't be able to use it for food. So the mill, the second mill was destroyed at that time. By then, the Blackburns, that's the name of the people that built the mill, had actually moved to Texas because they had some little children and they didn't want the kids to be involved, in the war. The older sons were actually all soldiers. But so when they came back after the war, well, their house was still there, and you can still see that house. It's right across the river from
That's
from
the one
mill.
that's right across the bridge on the right, right?
It's the White House that is there. That's the Blackburn estate. So that was fine, but the mill was gone. So the oldest son rebuilt. And at that time, he put it with a turbine. That was the modern technology, instead of a wheel.
Right.
And he also made it a lumber mill. So literally that little area of War Eagle was really the center of the community at that time.
Right.
People would go there to get their grains milled and their lumber done and all that stuff.
From how far away would people come? I mean, this was technically Rogers then as well, right? And
yes, I mean, there was another mill actually not very far from us, the Van Winkle. If you go, down Route 12, you can see it. There's still the area that you can visit there. So that was also where there was some residents,
Right.
But it was pretty much, from like 10 miles around, something like that. But
so neat.
and you think, I mean, the lake was not there, so people could come from areas that they can't travel from now.
Right.
But so the son rebuilt the mill. That mill lasted until the 20s, and then we know that it was burned down again. We don't know why.
It was burned down on purpose, or did
No,
nobody
we think
knows?
it was just an accident or something like this. So there was no mill there until the 70s. And then this couple moved to the area, and they had bought the property, and they discovered the foundation. And they inquired as to what those foundations were and discovered that it had been a mill and fell in love with the idea.
That's so
and
cool.
that was the Medlands, and they rebuilt the mill identical to what it was exactly in 1870, except that they put a wheel back on, because a wheel is obviously nicer to look at than a turbine.
Right.
But nowadays you can go and see that mill. It's literally, like I said, a duplicate of the one from the 1800s. And you can see our old grinder, which is over 100 years old. It's a stone grinder. So exactly what they would have used at that time. Okay.
I don't think I've actually even been inside the mill proper, so that's really cool. I need to come out there and do it. But they had so the grinder is it's like a giant.
So the grinder is this antique machine that actually turns the grain into either meal or flour. It has those big stones inside, and this is how they made flour before they were modern machines.
Right.
And well, you need to go inside the mill, okay?
Yeah.
On the first floor, you would have, you know, the old grinder, and you can shop for our products, of course, and then some other local foods. On the second floor, we have a craft gallery with local crafters, and on the third floor we have the Bean Palace Cafe, where you can actually have lunch.
Right.
So I should say that at this time, you know, we're coming out of the coronavirus situation. The second floor and the third floor are not yet reopened, but it should be open soon.
Okay.
And we're asking that people should visit our website or social media to keep, you know, in touch and know when it's going to be reopened.
Right. Well, I hope it hasn't affected y'all too much to have all the coronavirus and being shut down for that long. I mean, I think people have still been coming out there and enjoying the outdoor areas, right? I mean, there's fishing and walking and hiking around that area.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, when you come and visit the mill, we are
there's
very
the mill
close.
Right there.
Here's,
I have been in the mill. I don't know what I'm
Here's the historic
saying.
bridge, actually, that was built in the early 1900s, and this is our mill.
Right.
You can see that it's original to the period, and you can walk around. You can see the Blackburn Estate. You can walk across the bridge, and if you like fishing, well, there's really, really good fishing right there.
Right. And then y'all do some festivals also, right? Every year. I feel like every year I kind of end up going out there right in the middle of one, and I'm like, what's happening?
Yes, so the third weekend of October, it's the War Eagle Fair, and that attracts about 125,000 visitors from all over the country. And we have about 250 booths, and they're going to be on our property in front of the mill, and the shop show, which is just next to us, and right across the river on the War Eagle farm.
Wow.
So it's a big event, it's a lot of fun.
It's huge, it's really cool.
There's live music, there's a lot of food, and of course all the crafts to look at and shop for. And you can see that our shop is pretty original also to the mill. We carry all the crafts from the local area. We carry our foods, other foods from other makers from our region. You can buy gifts for the kids, and
cool.
A lot of handmade things.
Nice. So a little bit about the foods that y'all do. So everything is mostly organic and you know, from local farmers and things like that, right?
So everything that we make is organic, non-GMO, and 100% natural.
That's awesome.
That was the idea in the 70s, you know, when the mill was rebuilt, and it's still what we're doing now. You were asking me about the virus. You know, for us, it was a time where we stayed in stock. We produced twice as much products as usual to make sure that all our customers could still get the food.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So, but yeah, everything is absolutely organic. We have 2 more of those stone grinders at the grindery, which is located just past the bridge. And we make all our products the way they were made, you know, literally decades ago.
That's where I was thinking. I haven't been inside the granary. So and then we were talking, I was like, no, I've been in the mill. So, and the granary, exactly what are they doing there? You're just holding?
So this is the the production area, if you want, because we ship our products all over the country, and we supply a lot of grocery stores and restaurants, bakeries, things like that. So we have an actual production facility, and it's all traditional. It's not modern machines. It's very small, it's very small batches. All our grains are organic and non-GMO.
Well, that's what makes it special. I mean, I know that it's small batches and things like that, but it's such an integral part of our community. I mean, you can go to Allen's and Harps and places like that and see these, and a lot of local restaurants say, we've got War Eagle grits and all of these things, and I, opening my restaurant, I will be using them as well, because you'll have some amazing things. But I think it's important for people to know too, it's not just commercial stuff. You can go in there and you can buy biscuit mix and pancake mix and popcorn and all different kinds of things that
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Everything we sell at the mill is pretty much made by local companies.
Okay.
We support other similar businesses like ours,
right.
Of course.
Absolutely. And so, okay, tell me again, we're going to start with the granary. So you get everything and it's held at the granary? I'm sorry, can I go back through that with me? Because I don't really understand the process. I need to come out there.
So when you go to the mill, you see our old grinder where we show how we grind, the products in the stone grinder. But what you will learn if you go there and the miller is grinding, he will tell you that we cannot grind there all the time, because it depends on the levels of the creek. Okay, It's a machine. We need to have enough water to actually get the RPM to grind.
And so the wheel actually still, still powers the mill?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's really
absolutely.
Cool.
It's the real deal. It's not reproduction. It's not for show. It grinds actually cornmeal or corn flour or something like this every day that it's running. Absolutely.
Wow.
So what you will serve in your restaurant might actually be ground, on this 100-year-old machine.
I love that. I think it's so special. It's such a special place to have. Oh yeah, we've got some up here. It's special, a special place to have all these things. So
some of our products, and you can see we make a very wide range actually of organic products. You can see our gourmet popcorn, our yellow cornmeal, some wheat flour, and we make different kinds of flour from buckwheat to wheat, bread flour, all-purpose. We have some cereals, we have bread mixes, we have a lot of different products.
Right. What's your favorite one?
Oh gosh. I suppose maybe the grits.
The grits.
It's
grits
so traditionally South, and ours are coarse ground.
Right.
So it's very special. It's not like what you get at the grocery store, that looks machine made and doesn't really have any taste. That's the thing about having real organic, not GMO products. You can taste what food is supposed to taste like.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. And I love that you love grits, because you're French, and it's such a typically Southern thing. A lot of people that aren't from the South go, grits, oh, it's disgusting. And I think it is because they've had, the instant grits that don't taste like anything but water.
Absolutely, and it's hearty, it's healthy, it's natural. There's no reason not to have those good foods.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. I'm so excited about using y'all's products and actually bringing in more products and selling your products and just promoting the mill and the community and all of those things. It's a special place, and every time I go out there, I feel like I learn something new or see something new or meet somebody interesting like you, and it's a special thing that they're doing out there at the mill.
No, and it's interesting. I mean, if you're looking for something to do with family members that are visiting from out of town, if you have children that you need to keep busy for a day or something, you can go out there. You will learn about the milling, and we're very close to other attractions. We're very close to the Hobbs State Park and the Visitor Center, which is literally a mile away. You have all the hiking trails that are literally a couple miles from us.
Right.
And then you can go to the War Eagle Cavern, which is our neighbor, not related as far as business is concerned, but usually people go from one place to the other.
Right. You can make a whole day of it. I mean, you can make a weekend of it, and right. But we're going to talk more about that and the tourist aspect. We're going to take a little break. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
We will be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Here is our host, Abby.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. I wanted to take a quick second and thank our anonymous donor again for all these amazing lights. I know that it was super hot and old-fashioned in here before, but we're making strides thanks to the anonymous donor, and we really appreciate it. Also, if anyone is interested in volunteering for Bella Vista and Beyond or Bella Vista Public Television in general, we are always looking for volunteers. It's a lot of fun, I have to say that. I have worked behind the cameras, I've done a couple of interviews up here, and it's a lot of fun. Plus you get to listen to Bill's amazing voice and meet him in person, which is always cool. So if you are interested, just contact the local Bella Vista Television studio. I'm trying to think, you can get in touch with Steve or JB. Anyway, we're going to get back to Catherine now, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about the products, and then we're going to talk about the cavern some. I know y'all aren't affiliated, but it's still a cool spot, and it's close by, and you can, make the day of it like we were talking about. You can go hiking at Hobbs, and, a weekend. You could spend a week out there and not see everything. It's beautiful, and it's amazing, and there's so many, treasures that we have out there. And then the Jesse James thing, right? It wasn't the Jesse James gang. I think they were out there. So that's it. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But anyway, we're just going to pretend like that happened. But anyway, so let's talk a little bit about where you can get the War Eagle Mill products, and you can get them online as well, right?
Absolutely. So obviously, you can come to the mill and shop. This way you will get the whole experience. When our restaurant is open, you can actually taste quite a few of those products upstairs. We specialize in bean soup and cornbread, and pretty much old-fashioned foods, nothing fancy, but it's a lot of fun to be up there, and you can sit by the window and look at the creek, enjoy, listening to the wheel downstairs turning. It's really a beautiful, beautiful place, very peaceful.
Was there a restaurant there back in the old days when the old family had it, or?
I don't know in the 1800s, actually. I think it was just a working mill. The restaurant was open when it was redone in the 70s.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I was going to ask you, too, about when the family that owns it came in and it was just the foundation. So how did they find out? So it had been kind of lost to history, I guess, right?
Yes. I mean, some of our neighbors, of course, remembered because, they've been there their entire life. So they were able to actually tell them when those stone foundations were, and they did all that research and were able to find the blueprints.
That's what I was going to ask.
Of the 1800s mill. So this is how, and there's a lot of photos and images and paintings, and there's a lot of information about the mill that is still, available today. So that's how they were able to recreate it. But so now the mill is actually, it was sold again in 2006.
Okay.
And now it is part of the same businesses as the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs and the Park Basin Hotel in Eureka Springs.
I did not know that.
It's the same owners.
Okay. The Crescent is also an amazing place. I grew up in between Fayetteville and Eureka, and so it's, the Crescent is magical. Much like the mill. It's interesting. It's that's a lot of history to own and take care of and protect. That's really cool.
Absolutely, and this is why the same owners have those properties. Elise is the current owner of the mill, and she's a fan of old architecture and preserving old buildings, and that's how they ended up buying the mill at the same time, that same period that they bought the Crescent.
Right, because the Crescent, I remember when I was growing up, and the Crescent would be closed down for years, and then somebody would buy it and try to open it, and couldn't care for it properly because it is, caring for something like the mill or the Crescent or the Basin Hotel. That's a big.
It's a labor of
job.
love.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a labor of love, and I think all the people that are involved with the mill, I can tell you we're all in love with the business. I
think you have to
care,
be.
Yeah, we care very much about what we're doing there.
Yeah.
This is how, the products are, our pride and joy. I
Yeah.
would say we want people to experience those good foods, and we
eat
want to
healthy
give
and
good service to our customers, and that's why we serve them also at the restaurant, kind of like an old-fashioned way. To answer your question before as to where we can get the products, so of course you can come to the mill.
Okay.
And then you can, in Bella Vista, Allen's Food carries a nice selection of our products in their organic department.
Right.
And you can also go to Harbs in Bella Vista and other grocery stores, around Northwest Arkansas, of course. And then you can buy it on our website, wareaglemail.com, if you want it to be delivered to your doorstep.
Yeah, and it's again, I can't say enough good things about these products. They're so good, and I think the grits are probably one of my favorites too. The soup. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go really quickly to the cavern, and yeah, let's see some footage. Right, and the cavern is just down the street. It is also a really neat place.
Yeah, it's down the road from the mill.
Right.
Usually, people that are coming with the children, to visit the mill, will go to the cavern after that. It's literally like maybe 3-4 miles from us.
Yeah,
And
I'm
it's
sticking with my story too about Jesse James hanging out there. But look, it's beautiful out there. If anybody out there hasn't been, to the mill or to the cavern or a Hobbs State Park out there, you absolutely have to go. And if it's been a while since you've been, you absolutely have to go because, there's neat festivals, there's the restaurant, there's the products, there's, it's a special place. It's a special feel. It's, got so much history. It's just really beautiful. I think we're going to get some inside footage too. Look at that. That's amazing. So, and I think is there camping out there too, do you know? In Hobbs, right?
Yeah, so if you're coming from out of state, you can stay very close to us at the state park. They have some camping spaces now at Hobbs. They're fairly new, but I don't think you can go with an RV. You can just go hiking and just stay there. Otherwise, very close to us, you have Rocky Branch.
Yeah, that's beautiful out there
That's really
too.
not far at all, and then Prairie Creek. And of course, a lot of people stop at the mill and the cavern when they're on their way to Eureka Springs.
Right, and that's Highway 12, right?
It's Highway 12, exactly.
And it's a beautiful drive. Any way you cut it, you're going to find something cool to do on Highway 12.
Absolutely. So the mill and the cavern are about 30 minutes east of Rogers. And then you drive another 30-40 minutes and you find yourself in Eureka.
Right.
So really an easy way to make a wonderful, wonderful day.
Absolutely. And this is gorgeous. I think when I moved back home about 1.5 years ago, that was one of the first things I did. I went out to the cavern and the mill, and I hadn't been out there since I was a kid, and so it was really special to kind of go back in and see those places as an adult and have a different appreciation for it. Like, that's gorgeous. There's, unbelievable. And all of this, we're so lucky in Arkansas that we have all of these amazing places to go and to visit, and this wonderful history. You think about the Civil War and things like that happened, and everything that's gone through this area, and it's just it's a little bit crazy.
It's pretty amazing. We're
Yeah.
very, very lucky to be here.
Yeah, very lucky to be here. So if anybody is looking for something to do over the weekends, or hiking, fishing, I mean, there's everything out at the mill. And you do the festival is when again?
It's the third weekend of October.
The third
So,
weekend of
of
October.
course, for this year, a lot of people are contacting us to know whether the fair is going to happen. Of course, we don't know. Who knows what's going to be happening, in October.
Right.
But we're moving forward like it's going to happen normally, and we hope that everybody will join us there.
I hope so too, because it's a neat thing. And I think Like I said, I think I always wander in about that time because, and I did last year, last October, and I start driving out Highway 12, and I'm like, what are all these cars? There's so many people out here, and then you get there and you kind of follow the people, and it's a cool feeling. You know, there's people walking, there's people fishing, there's people swimming, there's food everywhere, and just get to walk around and look at the history and appreciate the state and all the things that it has in it.
It's definitely a lot of fun, and we hope that everybody from Bella Vista will come and visit, bring their family, the kids, the grandkids, come and discover what we have to offer there, and hopefully get to taste our food.
Yeah, they will. And if they don't taste it there at the mill, then they're going to have to taste it at my restaurant, which I will hopefully be opening soon. We will see. But anyway, Catherine, thank you so much for coming today. It was such a pleasure, and it's one of my favorite places. So it's really nice to have you and to learn a little bit more about the history that I didn't even know. Everyone, please go out and support the local mill and buy their products at Harps and Allen's and all of those places. They've been struggling too, like the rest of us with coronavirus. So get out there and support your local people. All right. Thank you, everybody. Again, the anonymous donor, lovely lights. Thank you so much. And again, volunteers, come on out, run some cameras. It's a lot of fun. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Remember, you can see this program on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at various times. You may also view this show on YouTube.com by going to Bella Vista TV. This has been a presentation of Bella Vista Community Television. Thank you for joining us.